We are now live, so here we are. We are going to be setting up MajorMUD. I have a BBS that I've created, and so yeah, we're gonna just start playing it from scratch. This is an unmodified vanilla setup. There's a lot of mods out there. I won't be using any of them. This is MegaMUD, which is a scripting tool to play the game. I'm gonna try and set up 4 instances, each taking a quarter of the screen. The way this works best is if you set up one, then you create new characters from that. Again, I have my BBS I'm going to create. First thing you want to do in comms is set to use Telnet. This is so old that it's defaulted to dial-up. We definitely don't want to use dial-up. I'll set up my BBS now. Ray. And my address is on my home network. It's not public, so I'm not worried about anything there. And really what I'm going to do here is create 4 characters, what I think is going to be the best scripting group for a couple reasons. Now, this came from a Facebook thread in the Facebook group whereby we identify what we think is the best vanilla setup for a scripting party of 4. Now, there's nothing stopping, especially with modern computers, to do all 15 classes or even multiples of a single class, but I think just to keep it reasonable and to not Alt-Tab 100,000 times, I'm going to actually just set up 4. So, let's see if we can connect here. We're already stopped. It would help if I had the right IP. Let's try that. Here we go. So we'll create a new character. Even though it's not blinking, we want the thing to go correctly. This is some BS stuff we don't care about. It's an IBM PC. I'm really old. Okay. So we'll go ahead and create some users. So first of all, I'm going to just call them what the class they're going to be is, so that way we can keep it simple and easy to remember. So let's see, let me find the thread that had the 4. Okay, so it's based on this here. It was the best 4-man party. It's 15 comments I added to it. There's someone who thought that. I think it's a decent idea. This is me. Priest, Mage, Cleric, Mystic. 4 Paladins. People seem to like that. Paladin, Ranger, Mage, Priest. So what was the first one up here? Mystic. So the problem with this is there's no traps. Traps are pretty useful. A few spots. We do have 10 spell, which is important for some bosses. You don't want to get feared, for example. But let's see. Ninja has traps, so I like using Ninja or Ranger in there somewhere. The charts are really high, but we have to assume that's not a big deal at some point. Okay, so I think I'm going to try this. But maybe instead of Druid, we go Ranger. Let's try that. So the first one we'll create is Mystic. And then I set up the BBS. Again, it's just a simple world group server. Mystic, now the best race we think with every class eventually is Half Ogre. And that's because of the max strength and how important strength is with the most recent version of MajorMUD, how it leads to accuracy mostly. But I think in this case we want Kang because poison immunity is important, but their abilities, their stats are just pretty good in general. So let's try Kang. And we said Mystic. No, definitely not lawful. So we don't want a Mystic generic name because there are monsters called Dark Mystics, and sometimes if you attack a Dark Mystic, the game gets confused. So I'll just put it backwards. There we go. Mystic backwards. We don't care about last names. So important to note at the beginning, we want a lot of health, a lot of strength. So let's make sure to get that set up. And then really we're going to set this up, save it, and then start building our next character. The intention is all of these four that I'm going to create are all going to party together all the time, do bosses together. And I'm not going to record the scripting. I will stream the scripting, but the boss fights are really the only thing I want to record. One feature you can do here with MegaMUD is auto login, and I want to test that out right now before I get any farther. So we have to get the commands required. We have to figure out what the message is for login, to put in the username and password, and how to proceed to the MUD instance, basically. So let's do that first. Okay. So let's relog in. Here's how you would do that. Okay, so first thing, let's press enter once so it appears in our backlog. So if I do Alt-B, back scroll, we can see this is the command we're going to look for to put in our username. So let's go ahead and do that. And in BBS, we will say here's the command and user ID. And that's the enter key at the end is what we need. So if I put that in, press enter, it should pick it up. And I did something wrong. User ID, and we have a user ID. Wonder if I'm not doing something right here. Let's try a different string. I wonder if I copied something wrong. Not getting that to work for some reason. Wonder if it's because I didn't save this yet. Let's see. It's not it. Well, that's interesting. I might have to come back to this part. This is global per all the characters that are on this BBS, so I could definitely defer this. So we're going to do three things ideally, is username, password, and then a go command, or we can even just press M in this case. And then it should auto enter too, so something's really strange here. Not sure what's going on. Let's set up the combat warrior. Okay, so that's the sysop I created earlier. Let's go ahead and get equipped. And we should be able to equip all. Just quickly do that. Okay, and I don't think we need to sneak anytime soon, so let's just turn that off. And then also for combat, we're going to want to punch at the beginning. Don't want polite attacks. Some other things we should set up here. Forget about max EXP because it might say monsters are too big, we have to run. And run distance, we only want to do one, otherwise it starts to run other monsters. Max monsters 99. Again, I'm setting all this up so that we can, when we create a new character, this is a baseline for all of them. We'll want to collect copper at the beginning and silver. Everything's good. It's not collect if it mixes heavy. That's good. It's not auto deposit anything yet. We might set that up later. Okay, and then let's see what else we can set. We don't want auto train. Don't want to search if items needed. Don't want to hang up if naked. we want to turn off auto AFK because it's kind of annoying. Where was that setting? Here we go. Turn that off. Don't need to log convos, just me. I'm not really going to talk in the game anyway. Okay, so now I think we're ready to start scripting this guy. There we go. Save it. And this one is set to go. No powers yet. It's just a Mystic level 1. Sorry, just doing some crits. Look at this. What a badass. Let's do a new character now. Okay, we can create this so it's roughly even with the screen. Because the goal is to get 4 of these. Perfect. Okay, so the next one we were going to create was a Cleric. So let's do that. Again, we don't want to set up username and password on this one just yet. Let's connect. Don't care about any of this. I can actually remove this, but I'm kind of lazy. Cleric. Okay, so for Cleric, I'm thinking we want Hog here because it's going to be the best late game. Although it wouldn't hurt to have some wisdom, so maybe we just do Kang as well here. Cleric 4. No, I don't think we want lawful Cleric. We can always get good. Try that later. And again, CIRELC. And again, we're focusing on strength and health. 86, 85. What's going on here? So we want, oh, that's why. Okay. There we go. That's what I did in the other one. Okay. So I'm going to set up 4 eventually, but one thing to note is we'll have to make each other friends so that they will invite each other or, you know, whatever else is required to get this going. So on the top, we can see my main character there, the Mystic, is already set up. Can do brief to not show the full thing every time we go in. Do club. Do all the padded stuff. And again, we will auto-equip. Now here we have minor healing, which is important. So I see minor healing in my spells. I can do this to heal myself. We'll set that up in a second. May need torches eventually. Might as well buy some now. Okay, this is where we train. Nothing there yet. Okay, so I think we're set to go on here. Let's actually set up combat first. We're going to do all-out attack or bash. Should be the same thing. What else is important here? It's probably okay. Let's just try to set this up. I could turn off that look at people to learn their inventory setting. I don't know where that is actually. One thing I want to do before I get any further is the healing. It's not as important in the arena here, but let's get this set up anyway. Okay, so basically this is going to heal below 80 to 80. And just because you don't want to heal to 100 because you're wasting some time potentially. Mana, we don't ever want to wait for mana. Not this stage at least. Spells, I'm going to do minor healing for spell. And same goes for party. I'll heal at 80. Okay, and this guy's going to attack last because he's our tank. Okay. All right, I think this dude's set up. You can see his experience is progressing here. I could actually go ahead and invite the other dude at this point. This shows up the party screen. So to make them friends, all we have to do is, you go into game data there, just give each other everything on both of them. And so now this dude's going to have him invited and be in the party. And that was it. So now they're in the party. I'm going to heal him when necessary. And we can make this guy, when he walks around, the other guy will follow automatically. It's a feature of the game. So we'll save this as Cleric, and we can set up the third one. Okay, set up the third one. Let's make this a little shorter. That should be fine. Okay. Third one we were going to do was Bard. Okay, so let's connect. Okay. Okay, for Bard, I don't think we want Kang for everything. Maybe we should do... We need crits for Bard. This is something we may have to come back to. Like, what's the best class for this? You know, I'm going to do Kang for this one, too. I think Kang is a pretty decent overall race. Unless you talk, like, level 70... I think Kang is probably going to beat out Half Ogre. Okay, D-Rab. And we'll just do the same setup here. Sorry, we want 80, oops, and then 78. Now, where Bard's different from the others is we are going to want them to backstab. And we'll even use BS as our normal attack because sometimes the game doesn't realize you're sneaking, and it'll do a regular attack when you're able to do a backstab. So just keep that where it is. And we are using a club. You need the BS weapon specified if you're going to backstab. So keep that there. Let's set them up. Again, we're doing brief. Oops, gotta buy it. I think that's everything. Vest, pants, helm, gloves, boots. Okay. And then, do they get any level 1s? Let's see. Nope. Okay. So there's the backstabber. And actually, we do need auto sneak on for him. We won't auto hide because that's really mostly relevant in PvP stuff. Let's save this. Okay, and then grant all to everybody. Sometimes it does this, but it still did create, I'm pretty sure. So they have all Bard there. They have all Bard, yeah, so I think we're set. Next, we'll go ahead and invite the Bard to this party. Drab. Okay. And that one is set. Okay, let's do the final character. Final character is going to be a Druid. Druid, I think maybe Kang's not probably the best overall, but I'm going to do it anyway for consistency and poison immunity. Okay, we'll connect. Same as the others. Druid. Okay, and I said Kang, Druid. D-I-U-R-D. Oh, see, I don't know if you noticed here, but I have two people competing for last attacks. We actually don't want to unbarred. And this happens sometimes. So there we go, that's fixed. Okay, 78, 80. I think 80 health is probably the most important thing. Strength, I may have actually overestimated on this guy, but we're going to auto-combat most of the early game, so it should be okay to be doing that early. And then brief. Quarterstaff actually gets you 2 AC if I remember right. So if I remove quarterstaff, so you have 5. That's just 1. Okay, it's better in club. I think it's not as much damage and it's two-handed, but it does give you the extra AC. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I missing? Vest, pants, helm, and boots. Okay. Oh, the two-handed gets bugged with MegaMUD. I need to find the patch for that. Okay. I don't need Vine. I do need Starlight, though. Probably don't need torches if I can do that. Okay, so I'm not going to BS with this dude. See, it keeps the settings from the last dude. Okay, we're not doing Mahi. We want to mend, but that's not coming in until next level, so I'll keep that out for now. It's probably good for now. We're not attacking last, don't want to get that again. And again, we're going to invite Druid. And we want to grant access to Druid. Okay, so I think we're all set up. You see they're talking to each other to get each other's stats. The way this works usually is you see a party status. So when you click par, it keeps this updated. So imagine only when you run one character and you're communicating with the rest, you can see at any time visually what the game's reporting, which is kind of cool. Okay, so again, I think we're set up. The last thing remaining is the BBS auto login, and I'll have to see why that was not working. That is a prerequisite for getting this all going, but it's going to take some time, so figure that out later. But for now, we are set, and we are scripting. That was the majority of what I wanted to accomplish, and that seems to be going, so I'll stop this recording. This was setting up new players and a new BBS. We can see, if I look at the top, there's my 4 characters. If we see our level, we're talking to each other. We could always do a backlog if we want to see it as well. Level 1. Okay, there we go. So we can see that they'll tell us, based on how much experience they're earning, the experience calculator, how long until they level up, which is kind of cool. All right, I'm going to stop the recording. That was it.